Dakota. She's 5-2, 2 wins in a row for the UFC, 2 finishes in a row. Crispy Carli Judice. Hey, Carli, how are you?
What's up? I'm great. Thank you guys for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Where are you joining us from?
Lafayette, Louisiana. Back at home.
Let's go.
Well, I'm actually in New Iberia right now. So New Iberia was where I was raised, and then I moved to Lafayette later in life. So yeah, I'm actually, not a lot of people know. I don't talk too much about that I'm from New Iberia, but because I train out of Lafayette and everything, I fight out of Lafayette. But yeah, that's for all the people out there in the comments that are saying, she's actually from New Iberia. Stop saying Lafayette. But yeah, so there we go. I gave some credit to New Iberia.
There you go. Hey, credit is credit due. I love it. I got a couple things for sure to talk to you about. One at the end, a little fun game. Elle will ask some great questions like always. My first thing for you is, and I saw some interviews you did a couple weeks ago for Fight Week, but I didn't hear like this question about like how crazy is it with, of course, it was Poirier's last dance, and how big it just seemed like New Orleans, right? Lafayette was the center of the UFC universe. And you can say that maybe never, maybe this is like the first time. How was it for you to be kind of, that's your home and where you're from, and that being the center of the UFC? Did it make you feel more proud to be where you're from?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Dustin has put Lafayette on the map, and, even long after he's gone, he's going to continue to be the face of Lafayette. So just getting that call, getting that opportunity, I was, super excited. I knew how big it was to get that opportunity. I only have a few fights in the UFC, and they're already, giving me a shot on a big stage on a big night, and it meant a lot to me, and especially to go out there and perform, in the way that I did. So that, that made me feel great. But I've always said that I did better with crowds, and also with crowds that like home crowds, because before the UFC, obviously, just like everyone else, we start off fighting in front of home crowds and stuff like that. So I felt like I was in Lafayette. I know I was in New Orleans, which is a 2.5-hour drive from Lafayette, but when I walked out, I felt like I was in Lafayette. I felt like I was in my backyard, which we basically were, and I really felt like that, that pushed me, that gave me the confidence. I wasn't nervous to fight in front of these people, in front of the state, and yeah, I just felt really good all fight week and all fight night. So yeah, I'm glad that everything went the way it went.
And it was a beautiful performance, obviously, and I'm sure it felt amazing to do that in your home state and with that hometown crowd. I want to talk just a little bit more about Dustin before we dig into that performance. I've had the pleasure of training with him here at ATT. He's always spoken very highly about you. Like, just talking about, him, his career overall, and what he's done for the sport. Obviously, I don't think anybody needs to argue that he deserved the send-off that he got. Do you feel like there are any other fighters that like do deserve that kind of UFC send-off that we got to see from Dustin?
I'm sure every fighter puts in a lot of work, the same amount of work, and we're all striving for something, but I feel like it really meant a lot for the people of Lafayette, because Dustin was the first huge face of Lafayette. He's the first person that's really inspiring fighters like me to know that we can be like him, one day. So, and he's still doing that. So, and, I think there's like stats where he's like, been in the rankings for 10 years, which is more than I don't know if that's like, I don't know how many people have been in the rankings that long. I just feel like he meant so much to the sport, and he was always in the top 10. He never got that championship. He had championship opportunities. He never quite made it, but he was always at the top, and he always showed up and always fought. So I think the UFC was giving back to him for what he gave to the sport and what he gave to his community, even people that aren't from Lafayette, for what they were just giving back for what he inspired. So I don't know if I answered your question correctly, because some of it cut off, but yeah, I'm a kind of a rambler, but
it's okay. And the craziest part, that interim championship,
I took the long way around to answer the question.
I saw the interim championship. They did like a timeline that actually should have been for the world championship. There was no reason that was for the interim. And then also he fought Conor McGregor in Abu Dhabi. That easily could have been for the world championship. It was a weird, like 18 months with Khabib and suspension. Like that could have been for the world championship. And that whole kind of thing of him never doing, he's a champion. Like I always think of Dustin Poirier as a champion, the BMF or the interim, and just who he is. I think of him as a champion. But that's, for me at least, I'm going to get off Dustin. I got a question for you. Call me a novice or a casual. Carli, I just think every time you fight, just don't go to decision. If you just knock the people out in the first 15 minutes, you're going to win. Well, why can't we just do that going forward?
Man, I used to do it all the time, and then I lost 2 back-to-back. I was like, ooh. It sucks. This doesn't feel the same. And then whenever I got the knockout for not this fight, but the one before that in March, I remember as soon as the kick landed, I remember thinking, oh, this feels familiar. This is nice. And then we finished the fight, and it just felt good. I needed that confidence because obviously whenever you're fighting, locally, then you make it to the big stage and you lose back to back. It's like, dang, am I meant to be here? But I just, every time I thought my brain tried to ask me those questions, it was just like, yes, you are. Like, though it doesn't define you, those losses don't define you. It only does if you let it. Because, like, obviously, all of us fighters, we deal with stuff mentally, right? So all those thoughts constantly creep in my head. It's like, you lost 2 back-to-back. You're going to lose again. You're going to lose a third one. You're not meant to be here. But you just have to, like, stop those thoughts every time. And it's, it's not perfect every day, but that's what I had to do to get back to, back to winning and get back to that familiar feeling of knocking people out, hitting hard, and doing the things that I missed in my, my 2 losses.
Absolutely. And I feel like looking at that fight against Gabriela Fernandez in your UFC debut and looking at this performance against Nicole Cagliari, just the differences for me were insane. I felt like you were always fun to watch. I remember the first time I watched you fight, I was like, I love this girl. I am never going to fight like that because it's terrifying. But I love this girl. And
Carli, Elle's been talking good about you for like a year and a half on this show. Elle's been a massive Crispy Carli fan. She's been telling me off air about you for a year and a half. Okay.
Oh, yeah. We're Crispy Carli fans for sure. But
that's awesome.
You never lost that spark at all. But you looked so much more calm and collected in this last performance, and just so clean. The range control was beautiful. What changed for you and what clicked for you in between those 2 fights?
Definitely a confidence thing, because coming off Contender Series, I obviously had those even when I was trying to tell myself that I was thinking positive. I think deep down I didn't trust myself fully going into the Gabriela Fernandez fight, my debut. I didn't have the confidence that I had going into these last 2. I'm not really sure where it came from. I think it was just constantly reminding myself that I'm meant to be here and the losses didn't define me. So I think it was a confidence click that I just needed to be comfortable in there, because all my best performances come when I am having fun. So I think I was trying to win, or I was just trying not to lose in my debut, as opposed to just going in there and having fun. Because like last Saturday night when I fought, I was having the time of my life. Like, and that's when I performed the best. It was just so fun. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else in that moment. It felt like, I don't know how to describe it. When you fight, it was fun. I was flowing, I was moving. And I think that's just the gap that I was missing. I was trying not to lose instead of just going in there and trusting all the work I put in and trusting my abilities.
I love that. Carli, I don't know if you are just running your IG or if you have someone else, but whoever's running your soundtrack for your Instagram, hats off. All right. Your playlist, absolutely money on the Carli, Crispy Carli IG. What's kind of some of your favorites? Is that your go-to songs, fight week or fight day? What is some of your go-tos on your playlist that you like to listen to?
Typically I listen to like Rod Wave, but this past fight we turned on some throwback R&B playlist, and we listened to that most of the week, and it was just nostalgic, right? The stuff I listened to when I was a kid. I don't even know how I knew some of that stuff. Like, I have older sisters, they were playing that all the time. So yeah, some throwback R&Bs from the 90s or early 2000s. That's my generation there. And it just gets me flowing. That's what me and my boxing coach talk all the time, is like, I start most of my practices off with 15 minutes of shadow boxing, and it's less shadow boxing and more dancing. I put on my headphones, and he knows, like, he barely talks to me in that first 15 minutes because I'm just dancing, finding my footwork, moving. The first 5 minutes of it, I'm just moving my head and moving my feet. So I think that's one thing that, a lot of people can incorporate in their game, because I feel like I'm dancing when I'm fighting sometimes, and I think it comes from just taking the first 15 minutes of practice to let loose and just move and dance. So I totally got off topic there, kind of, but that's just my little tip on fighters that are, shadow box, but don't shadow box, dance with a little bit of shadow boxing vibes to it. So yeah, my little tip.
Dance with shadowboxing vibes. That's going
like
on the caption. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a very Dustin-esque thing
Yeah.
as well. That maybe I don't know if you adopted that from him or if that's just the Lafayette style, but I feel like he's always got great music playing. There's always some James Brown, something to vibe to whenever he's in the gym. 100%.
Yeah, we got good music and good food over here.
That's for sure. Carli, am I missing? Is there a little? And you know, we love the comments. We love people chiming in. We always put them up. Seems like there's a little Dakota versus Carli thing in the comments. Is there something that we don't know about? Like, is there, or this is just people in the comments starting something? Because we're very high on Dakota.
No, I don't know.
High on Carli too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm high on Dakota too. She's awesome. Like you said, like I was listening whenever y'all were talking about it. We can just be friends. I don't know. I mean, if I don't know what the future looks like, and that's just people saying in the comments. But yeah, I mean, I'm down to be friends. That's cool too.
Okay. I was like, yeah, people in the comments want the Carli versus Dakota fight to happen. Oh, it's like that's what
they're all about it. Speaking of the future, though, there is a really big fight in your weight class coming up that I'm super excited for. That's Jasmine Jessie Davicius is taking on Manon Fiorot in Canada, Jasmine's home country. Do you have any thoughts on that fight overall?
Not really, not yet, because I had just saw that they posted it, and I had just gotten home, so I hadn't like put too much thought into it. But I'm excited to see it, and that's in Vancouver, right? Am I out of the? Where am I now?
No, Vancouver.
Am I still in the show? Oh, there I am. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see that fight, but I hadn't put much thought, or like, I don't know. I haven't put much thought into who I think is gonna. You know, it's obviously an awesome matchup, and it's gonna be an exciting fight, but. Yeah, I haven't put much thought into who I'm going for there.
Absolutely. This is a great question from SG, who is always in our comment section. We appreciate you, SG. Can we get Carli's top 3 Louisiana dishes?
Ooh. All right. Yes, for sure. Let me think. Okay, so stew, meatball stew, we'll put first on the list. But like, so stew and gumbo for people that aren't from Louisiana are kind of the same, but different. Like gumbo is like a watered down version of a stew, kind of like stew is this thick, dark gravy made out of roux, and roux is like literally flour and oil. So it's not healthy, but yeah, meatball stew, my first favorite. My second favorite is not really a Louisiana dish, but I'll go for some pizza, because the pizza they make around here, they're adding like crawfish to it. It's not like pineapple and pepperoni. Like it's crazy stuff they put on pizza out here. So pizza's my second favorite. And this is not a dish, but it's a dish for me, because I'll put them all on a dish and eat them. It's donuts. That's probably first on the list, but we're gonna put it. You know, you ask for Louisiana food, I'm going for some donuts. Gotta have them.
I like that.
Are you a beignet person? Some beignets?
What'd you say?
Are you a beignet person? You like beignets?
Oh, yeah. I'll eat beignets, but I prefer a donut. It's pretty much the same thing, but yeah, I feel like donuts are healthier.
Because that's you're missing part of it, right?
Right, exactly.
Carli, I got 3 maybe future opponents for you. I'm going to say 3 different names. Okay. Give me a ranking 1 through 10. 10 is you want to fight them the most. 1 is the least, and anywhere in between. But I got 3 names for you. You ready?
Yep.
First name on our list is Casey O'Neill.
9.
Ooh, okay. I like that. JJ Aldrich.
Let's go with 7.
Okay. Last one, Veronica Hardy.
Ooh, good fight.
10. I saw a lot of people, you know, throwing those in Instagram that I should fight next, and I think that's a fun matchup. I think that'll make for a really good fight.
Woo, I didn't know I was going to get.
And I think she hasn't fought in a year.
List.
I know. 10, you got a 10, 9 to 7. It's pretty good. Yeah, and I even think Casey O'Neill would be a good matchup too. I think. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's more of a striker. So obviously, you know, I'll fight whoever they give me. But strikers makes for a fun fight, striker. But that's why also Veronica Hardy, she has really clean striking as well. So I think that would be a fun one.
I do too. I would really like to see that fight. I'd be very interested to see that. On that same topic, you said you love to fight strike. Do you feel like inclined to eventually fight a high level grappler so you can show off some of the takedown defense, the counter wrestling, or are you like, no, just give me these exciting striking matchups?
Oh, well, obviously to build my career and to work my way up the rankings, I'm going to come across, skill levels, like people, good wrestlers, good grapplers, all of that. So, yeah, I mean, whoever they give me, I'll fight and I'll show that I'm ready for. Cause I don't post any, obviously I post a lot of striking and people are like, are you working on your grappling? I think the week of my fight, my mom texted me and was like, have you been working on your grappling? I'm like, not at all. No, I haven't. But it was just funny. I remember I texted my sisters. I was like, "Yo, look what mom just asked me." Anyway, sorry, mom, love you. But yeah. Anyway, rambling off topic. Obviously, I want to fight a grappler and show everybody. But I'm also an exciting fighter. I want to give exciting fights. And Nicole Calaria, we fought and she tried to grapple me, but it was still an exciting fight, right? So it's just I hope that every fight I go into, I can add my sprinkle on it, and no matter what they're trying to do, that I can still play my game plan and my game and still make it an interesting fight for the fans and for everybody, because that's when I'm having the most fun, like I said, is when I'm moving around and bouncing and dancing and doing all that. So that's my goal when I go in there, is just to be crispy, I guess.
To be crispy. Can we expect a few, maybe a few guillotine attempts, just jump the gilly, just send one up for Dustin?
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you said that. I told my coach a few days ago, I said, mark my words, by the end of my career, I will get one submission win, at least one.
Let's go.
So just wait for it. I don't know when it's going to happen. Could be 10 years from now, 6 years. We don't know when it's going to happen. I don't even know. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try to get, a gilly for Lafayette, for Dustin.
Let's go.
I love it. Carli, you are absolutely phenomenal. Anytime you have anything off your chest you want to talk about, or fight announcements, anything like that, message one of us or connect with Elle, and we would love to have you back on the show and back on the show more often. We absolutely loved it. You were great.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting me, Elle. Like he said, you've been high on me for a few years now, so I appreciate.
She's got T-shirts. She's got posters. She's been talking crispy Carli for a year and a half. It's telling you.
Let's go.
Let's go. Carli, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
Big fans. Yes, absolutely.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Later.